Alright, everybody, what's up? It is Jack Farks Price here, and I am with Cardinal here to cast this qualifier game between Trinity and NCI Panthers tonight. Cardinal, how are you doing?
I'm doing very well, Jack, and yourself?
Yeah, I'm not doing too bad now, not doing too bad. Looking forward to getting this game underway. All the Trinity players are on the server, so we're just waiting for NCI to connect us. Yeah, I saw Cinder connecting up there, so we should see the rest of them joining pretty soon, but let's talk a little bit about who, both teams' records so far in this series and what we expect to see out of this game. So obviously, Trinity, second place last year, one of the favorites coming into it, and they've done pretty well for themselves so far. They dispatched the Beneath Crusaders and Inferno 10-16, and they narrowly beat out UL Wolves and Mirage 16-14. That was a very, very good game, a great comeback from them. And NCI so far, they've been doing pretty well as well. They've only lost one game, and that was to UCDA on cash, and it was 16-8. So both teams, have a pretty good record so far in this tournament. But coming to this one, I think I slightly favor Trinity, but certainly NCI can't rule them out.
Absolutely. And tonight, it's got to be said, tonight is a very, very important game for both of these teams. So we've gotten confirmation earlier that whichever team wins this best of one tonight, and we'll find out what map we're going to be playing on shortly, but whatever team wins this best of one tonight is going to go through to the playoffs, to the semi-finals alongside UCD, and the other team is going to be on an early bus home, unfortunately. So this is a very, very important game for these two teams.
Yeah, absolutely a qualifying game. For those of you who are unaware, UCD have already qualified. It's based off the games they've won and that sort of thing. So this is kind of for a second spot in the group to go through to the semi-finals. But it looks like we're just waiting on one more player to connect at the moment. Two more players to connect from NCI Panthers. The map video does have yet to come through, but in terms of players to look out for, obviously we mentioned him before, is probably one of the biggest names in the tournament is Cinder, playing on NCI, and well, Trinity have shown all five of their players to be very, very capable, but in particular we're looking at the likes of Ekip and Steven for those those flashy kills, all the headshots, the big round plays. But certainly we saw I think it was God of Fire in one of the games against UCD really stepped up. He dropped 30 kills in that game, that sort of thing. So really we can't look to any one player in particular on the Trinity side, but certainly for NCI the star is absolutely Cinder. But again, in a similar situation to Trinity, all players have shown themselves to be very, very capable. But again, Cinder is that star player to watch.
He is. That's an undisputed fact. We're going to be looking out for Cinder, and he's got a bit of a tough call tonight if he's going to put his team on his back and bring this all the way so that they can go through to the semi-finals. But I'm going to be looking forward to see if the rest of NCI can step up with him and see if they can take it all the way. Just kind of looking at the stats and how these two teams have been performing in their last couple of games, especially the ones that we've gotten on stream. It seems like they both really favor the T side of both maps. That's where they seem to come out and really shine. They definitely use a lot of utility. Their executes onto either bomb side are always very clean, very crisp. You can tell that these players have been playing together for a little while longer than some of the other teams that we've seen so far in the tournament, and these players are much more familiar with each other. It definitely comes through in their team play and their coordination. But it'll be interesting, I think, to see what map we go for, because we have seen a lot of Mirage so far this tournament. We've seen a couple of games on Cash, one game on Inferno. So I would imagine we're going to see one of those three maps again tonight. We could see a curveball now. I doubt it. We might even see maybe a nuke coming through or something crazy like that. But I'd imagine it's going to be between Mirage, Cash, and Inferno. It's kind of a easy map to get yourself into. Most players are very, very familiar with these maps, and they're just going to be wanting to give each other the best chance they can, I suppose, to take the win in the best of one, because we know how important it is to put rounds on the board, So it's going to be an interesting one. I'm looking forward to tonight. I'm very, very excited. I hope you're as excited as I am, Ferrix.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, it's been a decent tournament so far in terms of close games. You know, we had that 14-16 thriller between UL and Trinity on Mirage, where Trinity had that huge, I think it was 6 or 7 round comeback. You know, there hasn't been any. Well, there's only really been one complete walkover, and that was UCDA against Smooth Crusaders. So it's certainly been relatively entertaining tournament to watch so far. So absolutely, we're going to be hoping that this game delivers, especially given the importance of this game for both teams in terms of that they're both looking to qualify and that sort of thing. I think in the other group, the UCDB team qualified. I'm not 100% sure on that. We'll try and find out for you, but I'm pretty sure the UCDB team are through, and whichever other team is through we're still pending match results. But
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it looks like we're still just waiting on that last player. I think it's actually a Trinity player that's disconnected now. So possibly having a few technical issues or something similar.
Always tends to happen, unfortunately, but we should be getting started very soon, ladies and gentlemen. For everyone watching at home, thanks for joining us. We should be seeing a very, very close game tonight. What's the predictions coming in, Ferrex? Who do you think is gonna take this one on paper?
I mean, on paper, you're probably gonna have to favor Trinity to win this. You know, they have that second place finish last year. They've had a very good showing in this tournament so far, but equally, NCI, they weren't in the tournament last year, so we can't really say anything about that. But they've showed themselves to be very competent in previous games. But actually, as we're speaking there, the map veto has just come through. This is going to be played out on cash, so we're just loading into the map now, and then we're going to see what's what. We're going to get into the knife round shortly, see who's going to start on which side. But yeah, absolutely, I think I'm gonna put my money on Trinity to win this one.
I think I'm gonna take the opposite side of the same coin and go with NCI this one. I think if they all come together, I think, and if Cinder is kind of on the ball tonight, I think they can definitely take it all the way to UCD, and it's gonna be a close game either way, I imagine. So hope it's gonna be a good game to watch and an even better game to cast. So we are gonna be going over to Cash, which is an interesting choice. I kind of imagined it was going to go between Cash and Mirage, so at least we're getting a bit of a change up from our typical Mirage best of one. So in regards then to Cash, what are these teams going to be looking for? We know obviously both teams have a great T side, so is it going to be a case of we see them take the T side early on if they win the knife round and try and just put as many rounds on the board as they can before they swap over then to the CT side, which is arguably probably a little bit easier for these more coordinated teams to play on.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, looking at the previous matches, we've seen NCI playing on cash, and it was very much the Cinder show once he settled into the game. He had a 1v3 ace clutch on the T side, and really had his team on his back and all that sort of thing. So he'll certainly be hoping to replicate that performance in this game. But Cash is it's fairly balanced, but you could argue that it's a little bit of a CT map. You have relatively fast, safe rotates, that sort of thing. But yeah, it's that sort of, I want to say comfort pick, but I'm not sure if that's quite the word to use. Every player knows there's a few smokes for Cash. You have that cross smoke in A, obviously one of the easiest smokes in the game, and that sort of thing. And then there's a few more complex ones, either the window one on B or the CT one on B, sorry, through the window and that sort of thing. So it is something that it is a map that you can definitely strat. You can work out strats, and you can work out anti-strats and that sort of thing. And equally you can also sort of pug it out. You're not too heavily punished if you don't play with your teammates, much like it would be on a map such as Mirage or Nuke, that sort of thing. So yeah, in that respect, I think Cash is going to be a good choice for these two teams to play on. Should give us an entertaining game.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with you there. But I'm very interested now to see how these teams decide to play this, because I suppose you could also touch on the point that we are a couple of weeks now into the winter challenge, and in some sense these players and these teams are starting to kind of get used to playing against one another, and I know a lot of these games, they've all been best of one so far, but you do kind of get a little bit of a sense as to, you know, what teams prefer to play on and what kind of styles they have, and who to look out for. And I think that's going to come through a little bit in this game. I would imagine these teams have kind of prepared a little bit for this match, given the nature of it, you know, that it is a knockout game, qualifying game to get into the playoffs. But with that said, we are going to get into the knife round, I believe. So we're going to be seeing very shortly who's going to be taking what side and what these teams have got up their sleeve. And oh, very quick knife round it looks like. Beast from the East just left now all on his own. He's got low health, he's not going to be able to do this. 3 HP, and it's going to be the knife round going over to NCI.
Yeah, very good stuff there. Cinder just, I think, toying with him a little bit at the end, going for the 2 left clicks. Maybe wasn't sure if he was right clicked, but either way, my friend, as you say, is going to go in favor of NCI. It looks like they are going to keep their side, so NCI going to be starting out on this T side, and Trinity going to be opening things up for us on the CT. So pistol round starting just now. We'll see what sort of strats we're going to be getting from NCI, if any at all.
They are going to go over to the T side. Okay, interesting. Okay.
So five sets of armor for NCI.
The diffuser coming in then on the CT side as well, so maybe expecting a possible retake situation. They've actually left one man towards A over on the Trinity side of things, so NCI are going to take control of mid very quickly. Somebody's going to find a key frag into connector, so he's actually gone towards B now, and he's going to find a lot of info for his team. He knows there's a couple of players here, and meanwhile his team is taking complete control of the A bomb side. The bomb is going to go down. Bitter gets that planted and come back in towards Car. He's going to tap away and find a first frag. Can he get another? But it's not going to go his way. Steven's going to take him out now. The bomb has been down for quite some time, and CT's got to get to the bomb site quickly if they want any chance of retaking this. And they're getting very low on HP, and Mark Gaffel is going to find 2 kills, and that's going to be the pistol round going over to NCI.
Very good round there from NCI. Pretty convincing. Cinder opening up with that headshot into the player NZ connector in mid, and then straight away he just charged out through vents, and yeah, as you said, got quite a lot of info for his team that there was, you know, a sort of a B stack coming in, and by that time NCI had already swarmed all over the A site and bomb was going down. So Trinity took a gamble, and unfortunately it didn't pay off for them, but they're going to be forced back onto the eco. Looks like we're going to see a mid push coming out here. Just a P250 for Beast from the East and Steven as well, but Comeback King boosted up is going to find one, and Bitter catching God of Fire, pushing through mid there as well. Beast from the East is going to trade him out and takes a second onto Cinder as well. Actually, now into a 3 on 3, and with that kill from Steven as well, all of a sudden Comeback King finds one, but we're down into a 2 on 2 and finding a second. Beast from the East trying to get out of mid there, and it's just Steven left now in a 1 on 2. Only a P250 to hand, but could find a weapon if he goes searching. Comeback King is very, very low. Bomb is going to be planted on the B side, and Steven picks himself up an MP5 and now needs to get his way over to this B side as fast as he can, especially considering he has no diffuser and not a lot of utilities to work with, just a smoke, so he might even elect to just save this one, try bring the MP5 into the next round. Bomb's already ticked about halfway down. Steven certainly taking his time here, and Fabulous Sean, I'm not sure if he heard those footsteps in mid. He's just holding towards vent at the moment, and Steven looks like he's going to play for some exit frags here. Sean is surely going to hear those steps now. He's going to step out from vents and not going to be able to find the spray onto Steven. 2 kills for him in this round, and he's going to manage to hold on to the MP5 as well. Comeback King though does keep the AK, so he's going to bring that into the next round. In the second round, going in favor of NCI just about, I might add, but they take it nonetheless.
Very close round, and I think if maybe Steven had had a little bit more time, or even if he had a diffuser, I think he toyed with the idea of going for that one. He was considering it. We can't hear the comms between the team, obviously, but he might have had to be dissuaded by his teammates to not go for that one, given NCA had already picked up the first pistol round. But we see a bit of a buy coming in from TCD. They've got a decent bit of utility as well to go along with it. No head armor, but against these AKs and the SG, it's not going to matter too much. But round has kind of slowed down a bit now. We see a lot of the NCI players towards the B bomb site. The bomb is still in mid, so they haven't decided to commit yet, but Cinder finds a great opening frag on boost there over to Beast from the East, and it is going to be the man advantage now over to Trinity. And It's me gets down a little bit, but gonna take the fight again and returns a little bit of damage onto Bitter. But here comes the execute now. Mark Gap finds the frag onto Steven, and It's Me's gonna chime in with one back. Sean's gone down, but Bitter finds a second and he trades out that kill. That could be very important in this round. And NCI players start to move towards the bomb site now. They're slowly moving away. Egypt's got it all to do, and he finds 2 kills. That's Mark Gaffo gone down as well. And now Bitter is waiting for his teammates. Cinders have to push into whole way. He spots the first player, but he can't get it. Gotta Fire checks it just in time. And now we're down to a 1-on-2. Bitter got it all to do, and he's not going to be able to get anything done. And that's going to be Trinity finding a great hold of that B bomb site, and they're going to put their first round on the board.
Very good hold there from Ekip sitting in that back box inside. He just peeked out exactly the right time, was managed to do a little bit of a spray transfer to find the second player. I think he had it all to do, and well, he really stepped up to the plate, really showing what sort of player he is. And if he's starting as he means to go on, then we should see a great performance coming out of him. But Gotta Fire, as you said, checked that angle at just the right time, and that could have really been a turning point in the round if Cinder had been able to find that kill. But unfortunately for him, Gotta Fire was aware. Looks like we have a little bit of a technical pause coming in. Steven was disconnected for a second, but he's back on the server now, so should be able to get things back underway.
And I'm not sure, Ferex, actually, in that last round, did Cinder see Gotta Fire before he turned around, or did they just happen to walk into each other's crosshair? I didn't actually see it on my screen, but
Yeah, I'm not quite sure. It was auto director was watching it for us, but
it could have been a interesting perspective. Was Cinder just holding off on the trigger and then paid for it with his life?
here comes the Irish.
Oh, and it's going to be a slaughterfest. I think just Bitter left with his CZ 1 versus 5. He's just going to be hoping to possibly keep onto his armor or maybe get a little bit of economic damage in here, but this is going to be a quick round going over to TCD to even the scoreline. Unless we see something absolutely outrageous come in from Bitter here, but I really, really doubt it. Although stranger things have happened. Stranger things have happened, to be fair.
Yeah, just
But
like
that's going to even up the scoreline, I think.
yeah, that's gonna be 2-2. A little bit of team damage in there by Beast from the East spamming through that door, but Bitter actually is gonna find 1 kill on Steven, so not a complete throwaway of a round from NCI. A tiny bit, a little bit of economic damage. Probably not gonna make a difference in the grand scheme of things, but nonetheless, a great A-hole there from Trinity to hold off that rush from NCI, and they're going to be back onto the second eco again. So some upgraded pistols, a little bit of a force by upgraded pistols, and a few sets of armor. 1 smoke for Comeback King, but Trinity are fully bought up. FAMAS for It's Me, and the rest of them on M4s and an AK for Ekip, but Trinity's starting to get a little bit aggressive in this mid-area. Beast from the East could get caught out here. Not going to be able to find the shot. Palm is down towards the B side of the map, so NCI just playing a little bit of default at the moment. Beast from the East eventually finds Cinder playing up in that boost position. But a little bit of a default spread from NCI, but they're going to group up now, and here comes this mid play. Perhaps Ekip going to be tested, and Comeback King, that was a filthy shot there to find Beast from the East, but Ekip's there to trade out onto Bitter and find the second onto Comeback as well, and a great hold from Ekip once again, really stepping up when his team needs him most. Finds 3 kills in mid, but Fabulous Sean now left in a 1-on-4, finds the first kill onto It's Me, but doesn't have the bomb on his back, and if Ekip keeps going, could find the bomb, but that's not going to happen. Looping back around towards Vents now, and Fabulous Sean on 10 HP with it all to do. His team is going to be buying next round, so not much point in trying to save this FAMAS, I think. Perhaps just trying to do a little bit of economic damage. 30 seconds left. Trinity players starting to just group up, and I think Ekip is now he knows now, sorry, that he has the bomb, so they're more than happy to just let Sean stay where he is and hold on to their own weaponry. But yeah, Sean has realized he needs to go and die if he wants to get money, so die he will go and do. Steven picking the frag up, but Ekip there once again really stepping up for his team in mid, playing out of sandbags, finding those 3 kills, 3 very key kills indeed.
Yeah, and we've seen so far in this tournament that these force buys that come in, especially when we see upgraded pistols like the Deagle and the CZ, there's been more rounds now that I could count where, you know, a team with just a couple of Deagles managed to convert it and pick up a few rifles throughout and actually managed to take the round. So definitely got to be careful on those force buys when you're we'll say NCI or Trinity in that situation, they got to be careful that they don't give up some easy frags. But it is going to go the way of Trinity, so 3-2 the scoreline. And yet again, we do see the default spread from both teams for the most part now. Looks like NCI are just waiting for some smokes to fade before they go for a little bit of mid control. And the bomb is over towards A side of the map, so you see now both teams kind of trying to feel each other out here, just trying to see if anyone's going to get aggressive, if anyone's going to make some peaks that they maybe shouldn't be making. But Combat King's going to make his way out now into mid. And it is just Ekip in that Z connector trying to hold on and get a little bit of info for his team if he can. Smoke's going to come in. That's going to be the end of that. And we see now Sean has actually pushed all the way through the squeaky, and Godfire is just on the other side, but he's not going to reveal himself yet. And now see actually Comeback King's making his way all the way up highway, and he's going to come into a bit of a contact play here quite quickly if he's not careful. And in the meantime, Ekip's going to find Mark Gaffo in mid and come out to get Steven, and Sean slides out through squeaky and finds a great kill, but Ekip holding on yet again. But Bitter, oh, he's going to flank all the way through, and he catches the first player. He's giving away his position and can't get the second. It's me, he's going to trade him out. Now we're down to a 2-on-2. Cinder has just gotten the bomb down. So we're going to see can Trinity now coordinate themselves and get all the way up to the bomb site. Limited utility now for both teams. And oh, Cinder finds a great shot at Ekip. That was crucial, and then Sean chimes in. They knew where the last player was, and very decisive round from NCI. They did lose a couple of players in the process, but some great team play there coming out overall, Ferex.
Absolutely. I mean, we saw he was a comeback king getting all the way up highway, like virtually uncontested, I think. Was able to find that kill onto the player on A site, which really cracked open the side, I think, and then Bitter pushing through Z there, found the kill, which really opened up the round for NCI, and a good closeout by Cinder finding that kill through the smoke, I think. But a little bit of a B hit coming out here. Fabulous Sean going to find the entry onto It's Me, and Ekip is gonna catch off Mark Gaffo in mid. Nearly whiffed his spray there, but finds a kill nonetheless. Steven coming through heaven, does a little bit of nade damage there. Down into a 3-on-4 bomb down on the B side. Steven gonna find the first kill onto Fabulous Sean, so that's certainly gonna give Trinity a little bit more of a helping hand in this retake. But Cinder up in vents could prove a real thorn in their side, especially for Ekip coming through B main here. But Trinity really taking their time. I'm not quite sure if they want to go for this. They're just kind of holding and playing for exits, almost accepting the round as a lost cause, trying to keep these NCI players trapped, I think. But here comes Bitter, gonna find a nice kill there onto Steven. That's him going down, and only 2 players surviving now for Trinity. Godfire needs to hold on to this weapon. Give up position with the shot, and Bitter, if he had shot just there, that could have been the end of Godfire, but nonetheless he survives, and Trinity managed to carry over 2 weapons into this next round. So it'll be interesting to see if they're going to force buy around them or just take an eco. I think they're just going to take an eco. Beast from these picking up a P250, but NCI fully bought once again. Cinder opting for the SG553, a little bit of a meta change coming out perhaps. But
very back and forth so far, Ferex. It's really tit for tat when it comes to these rounds. It's going either way each side, and Trinity haven't gotten much of an economy now, so it's not very clear what way this round is going to go. You've got to favor NCI, but anything can happen with these rounds. And if Cinder's not careful, he's going to fall. Ekip finds a great kill. He's going to take him down, and got to fall in return. Find him yet another one though, and make that a third. And now he's going to slide out, and he's going to catch him just before he can get the gun reloaded. So the bomb is going to go down, but I don't know if Fabulous Sean is going to get much done in this, a 1v3. And we see Trinity now, they only had, I think, 3 players with guns that round, and it looks like they're actually going to make it happen. Ekip proven very, very crucial to find a couple of kills from the A bomb site. A little bit uncontested, but Fabulous Sean is going to find the first kill, and he'll make that a second, but he can't get the third. Great team play from Trinity to double peek him at the same time, so they are going to even it up yet again. We're going to go 4-4, only 8 rounds in.
yeah, Trinity just, they only had those 2 rifles that they brought up from the previous round and a P250, but they absolutely made it work. Ekip, like you said, absolutely stellar on that A site. He just seems to be everywhere that NCI are trying to go. Really good hold there from him. So absolutely, we talked about him being the star player for Trinity, you know, in the run up to this game, and he's certainly shown why we think that so far. 12 kills for him, head and shoulders above his teammates. But Cinder a little bit quiet so far, only 5 kills, considering we had pinpointed him as the star player. But it's a bit of a default spread coming out here for NCI at the start of this round. 2 players towards B, and Bomb is there as well. They're just trying to, I think, feel out Trinity, figure out where they're playing before they want to commit themselves to anything. Ekip, ever the crucial player, moving himself around a lot, playing on B this round. A little bit of contact there, but Beast from the east, holding towards this mid area. Looks like NCI are going to set up for a B hit here. Bomb is over there alongside 4 players, leaving just Bitter over on A to play a little bit of a lurk role. But here comes the execute now, and a good counter molly there from Trinity to hold them off. So that's going to take a bit of damage running through that. But Ekip in back box, we've seen him play well here from before. Finds the first goal on to Mark Gaffo, but Fabulous Sean, good flank there, is able to swing around from headshot and take him out. And that's the B site now. Bomb is going to be planted in that default position. Steven spamming through the wall there, not going to be rewarded with anything, but Fabulous Sean firing back a little bit. Could see a kill coming out here, but nothing doing. 4 on 4. Cinder is on 40 HP. Trinity once again. Bitter, there's that flank that I talked about earlier on. Finds one for himself. It's me with the trade, but Fabulous Sean meanwhile finding Beast from these, peeking up to heaven. And Trinity quick to save once again, I think. 2 on 3. It is the right call, but not something you sort of we've really seen from other teams. It's just it's me trying to hold on to that up. He's going to go down to the bomb, I think, if Cinder can't find him, but find him he does. So yeah, Trinity, that's an interesting point to make there, is that they're much more willing to save these rounds. You saw they were in a 3 on 4 or 4 on 4 there, and they're very, very slow in their retakes. They're just kind of waiting for NCI to peak angles, I think, to get a little bit overly aggressive, but NCI are giving them absolutely nothing at the moment, and any duels they are taking, they win almost 100% of the time, I think. So Trinity maybe need to reconsider their retake game if they want to get some more rounds on the board, but as we are...
It's actually interesting that they play a very similar game on the CT side to UCD, where they're more than willing to wait for smokes to fade and for their teammates to get in position before they go for these retakes. They definitely opt to hang on as long as they can, which is interesting to see from teams at this level. You know, they're more than willing to save, they're more than willing to wait for their retakes, and they don't get flustered by the bomb timer ticking down or the round timer ticking down. So that's an interesting point, Ferrex, but I believe the man advantage now over to Trinity, and they do only have 2 guns, one of those being an SMG, so they still got a long way to go if they want to convert this round. But we see now NCI, they're gearing up for this hit on the A-bomb site, and there are a couple of Trinity players in close proximity, so be careful. Ekip is on low HP as well. He's got to be careful that there's Molotovs now, but he's going to find him. And Steven's going to chime in. He's going to take down the Fabulous Sean. A little bit of help from come back in. He's going to find the first frag, and Sean finds the second. The bomb is going to go down, but God of Fire was just running straight onto the bomb site there. That was an interesting play. I'm not quite sure what he hoped he was going to get there, whether he was going to stop the bomb from going down, but it's me now. With just that 5-7, and he is going to find 1 kill, so now it's all up for grabs, and come back in. This smoke doesn't play in his favor, but he's going to jump up and he's going to find the kill. That's going to be yet another round going for NCI. So I think that's the first time one of these teams has managed to string 2 rounds together. I think that's 6-4 now altogether, but again, these rounds are coming down to a knife edge, Ferrex. They could really go either way at any stage. 1 or 2 key frags coming out, and it could be a completely different scoreline. Yeah,
I think the only thing that's keeping Trinity alive right now is the fact that Ekip is absolutely going off. Actually, before I analyze this anymore, let's look at this B rush coming in here from Trinity. It's going to be another massacre, I think. 4 kills, and it's just Ekip left alive, and he's not going to be able to get anything done. So a quick clean up there for NCI, 7th round on the board. But yeah, like I was saying, I think the only reason that Trinity have 4 rounds at the moment is just purely because of Ekip going off. We saw in that 2v4 where he was on the B site, you know, he took 3 players out and completely held off the site take, and similarly on A site with that AK, he got 3 kills for himself. So he's really, really keeping his team in the game right now, and the rest of the players need to step up, I think, if they want to have a hope of winning this game. Nonetheless, here we go, they're back on the bye again, so we'll Gonna get another chance to see what these teams are made of. And Comeback King, not quite sure what he was doing there. Just stared at God of Fire, gave him a free kill. Early round advantage going over to Trinity, but God of Fire gonna get tagged down a bit to that door. But Ekip meanwhile is gonna find Cinder getting overly aggressive in mid. I think no trade potential there at all. Comeback King says my gun just didn't shoot. Maybe a little bit of little bit of lag there. I think very, very unfortunate. But NCI have next to no map control at the moment. Actually, It's Me is pushed all the way up through B, so there's 4 players for Trinity towards this A site in the middle area of the map, but Mark Gaffo going to find the opener onto Beast from the east. That puts us in a 4-on-3. It's Me could catch Bitter in the back here if he steps out just a little bit more, and it's so close. Pixel angles right here, but Bitter gets away with his life. He's going to get caught in the back, I think. Takes the kill onto Ekip, and that's going to... It's Me is just playing very, very patiently at the moment, just holding that useless area. Could absolutely stab NCI in the back here if they don't check this angle. He's seen the bomb as well running by there. He's gonna... That's so unfortunate for It's Me. He's not going to find the frag, and the bomb's actually going to get all the way onto B site before It's Me can do anything about it. And there's not a single player there for Trinity to try and stop this plan from going down. Fabulous Sean just going to play it safe and plant behind that back box. Steven gonna take the contact with Bitter, finds kill, easy frag there for him, and looks like this round could go the way of Trinity, especially considering Mark Affo was only on 12 HP. God of Fire checking all these angles. Finds the kill onto It's Me and gets a second onto Earth. Finds the kill onto Fabulous Sean, sorry, and gets a second onto Mark Gaffo. So more convincing round there from Trinity. Could have gone very, very poorly actually if It's Me had messed up, maybe lost his life. But as it was, there was good info being gained by him pushing up through B main there, especially when the bomb started going back towards B. It enabled Trinity to rotate very, very fast. So good play by him to keep the trigger discipline. Unfortunately, I think he just held it a little bit too long. But 5th round for Trinity, and maybe starting to wake up a little bit now, Cardinal.
Yeah, and one of the things that I've kind of noticed in a couple of these rounds is that when NCI decide that they're going to execute, they tend to bring all their players along very early on in the round. And we saw there that allowed It's Me to walk all the way through B halls into that useless position, and he stayed there for the majority of the round without being discovered. So NCI have got to kind of watch their flanks if they don't want that to happen again. And Capo's going to find the opening kill into this round now, so they are going to be hitting that B bomb site yet again. But even just having a quick look at the minimap, they've got all their players here, and in these rounds where it goes their way and they find those opening frags, you know, that's fine. They shut down the chance of a flank. But here we see Ekip yet again. He's going to come true useless now. He's going to find the first kill. Great shot onto Cinder, but I think Cinder expected him, but the duel just didn't go his way. But we see yet again, as you touched on earlier, Ferrex, these Trinity players are more than happy to save. Even though it is a 3-on-4 and a couple of the NCI players are tagged up quite heavily, they're more than happy to bring their AKs and their M4 into the next round rather than risk it. So, you know, a lot of discipline coming out from the team, Ferrex.
Yeah, I think that's Ekip's influence, and speaking of Ekip, finds himself 2 frags there. That's good economic damage being done. Bitter eventually taking him down, but Cinder commenting that Ekip is sick. But yeah, I think that's Ekip's reign of terror over them. He as far as I know, he is the IGL for Trinity, and despite, you know, being encumbered by the fact that he has to call, he still has 18 frags. 2.0 KD for him, so he's playing out of his mind at the moment, and like I said earlier, quite possibly the only reason Trinity have any sort of a hope in this. But Trinity have forced up around these 3 rifles, FAMAS for It's Me and Deagle Armor for Beast from the East, so they're going to be hoping they can make something work with that. But 5 AKs for NCI. Interestingly, I don't think we've seen an AWP coming out from either team yet. Maybe neither of them feeling particularly comfortable not having it. Maybe they don't have a dedicated opera or something similar to that. But NCI once again electing for that fairly default spread. Cinder stepping out of mid, gonna get his head taken off, but Bitter with a nice shoulder peek there to get the trade into a 4-on-4. And Beast from the East gonna take the head off of Comeback King. Good shot there from him. Not a hope for Comeback King, but looks like it's gonna be an A execute here. All 3 players for NCI, and it's gonna be down to God of Fire. Finds the first one, nearly gets the second one, but Mark Affa finds the headshot. He's gonna get the bomb down just in time. Stephen, that very unfortunate nade there. Just about missed the angle. That could have really changed the course this round, but as it is, Mark Gaffo survives with 9 HP, and Trinity gonna try and retake this one, I think. First kill going their favour, down to the 3-on-1 now. It's just Bitter left, has it all to do. Gonna find the first gun to It's Me, who gets tagged down to 21 HP in the process, and Beast from the East and Steven now need to play this smartly if they're gonna take their round, but Beast from the East finds the kill onto Bitter, catches him out, stepping out at the wrong time, I think. But Bitter, yeah, needed to make a play there, I think. Knew both players were going to be coming from different angles, but unfortunately for him, he's not going to be able to win the fight. So, last round of the first half now. Cardinal, what do you think? Are Trinity going to make this 8-7? Certainly they seem to be waking up a little bit now. Stephen reaching 10 frags there.
I'm gonna agree with you there. They've been a lot more dominant in these rounds, and I suppose if we look at the star players from either side, Ekip and Cinder, Ekip definitely has Cinder's number in these rounds so far, and his dominance is coming out in the scoreboard especially. But I'm imagining Trinity are going to be hoping they can bring this to 8-7. That'd be ideal for them, not to waste away on these CT rounds. It could have been a completely different scoreline if some of these rounds had gone their way, but yet again, Ekip, he's going to take down Cinder. Didn't catch that on camera, but he is going to fall, and meanwhile, It's Me is going to find the frag of his own in the meantime. So 3 players left now for NCI, and still 1 minute 5 left on the clock, so plenty of time left in this round, and looks like they're going to get aggressive now. Kind of taking out that more pug style there, just trying to take the aim duel into heaven, but Mark Gaffo left on his own, and Ekip's going to find him, so that is going to be 8-7. So Trinity do manage to find the last 2 rounds of the half and even it up as much as they can going into the next half. So Ferrix, what are we going to be looking at on the flip side when we see Trinity get access to those AKs and NCI can sit back a little bit more and just wait for Trinity to come to them? So how do we think this next half is going to go?
Well, certainly a little bit of a slow start from Trinity, I think. Not managing to string that many rounds together in a row, but I think I had a little bit of an internet issue there, so I apologize for that. Those of you watching the stream, please don't flame me. But yeah, sorry. So Ekip, obviously, I mean, just looking at the scoreboard, the halftime scoreboard there. Excuse me. Ekip absolutely head and shoulders above everybody else. Really has the team in his back. But yeah, especially now that he has the AK, he has the opportunity to do even more damage to this NCI side. Cinder, we talked about him before the game as being the star player for NCI, but he's been very quiet so far. Only 10 frags for him. So he should be hoping to change this up on this CT side. But Trinity absolutely, we said that they were a little bit slow to start, but an 8-7 is definitely not bad at all on T side cash. Looks like we're going to see a B take come in here. Beast of Me is taking a little bit of contact towards mid, and using that P250 for the long range engagements is the right choice. He's going to find the kill onto Cinder, and Bitter gets overly aggressive in B main, and Stephen and Godfire team up to take him down, and that's the B site now, I think. Mark Gaffo, Stephen crisp 2 headshots there to take out both the rotating players. Stood absolutely no chance. It's just Fabulous Sean left in a 1-on-5, and yeah, absolutely. Trinity seem to have woken up because all their players are starting to come alive now. Stephen, we had talked about him before the game as being the other star player for Trinity, and those were very clean shots there for him to really seal the round for Trinity, seal the deal. And Fabulous Sean just maybe going to try play for some exits here, try hold on to the armor if he can, but it doesn't seem like Trinity want to let him do that. They're already pushing back towards this B main area of the map. Beast from the East, the closest man. Fabulous Sean's going to hear them come. He's going to find one. We'll be happy with that, but runs out of bullets, and Ekip's gonna, Godfire is gonna push him down, and Fabulous Sean find the second, but Ekip there eventually taking him out. So piss around going in the favor of Trinity, and that brings us all level to 8-8. And if things go as they should in this next round, we should see Trinity actually take the lead
for the first time in a while. Definitely take the lead for the first time in a while, and I think it's fair to say Trinity have actually turned it on now. They've stepped it up a gear, and they've been a lot more decisive with these rounds. it's unfortunate actually for the NCI side that Cinder seems to be just having an off game tonight. Whether his aim is feeling off or it's some other factor, but he's definitely not turning up when he needs to. And this is going to be a very quick round, I think, going over the way of Trinity yet again. Just have a little bit of a delay here while these USPs reload, but there's another frag coming in for Ekip, and he's going to make that an ace. Actually, he manages to kill all of them, so was just an eco round, but still, you'll take all your aces when you can. And he's almost at 20, almost at 30 frags now. We're only 18 rounds in, so Ekip is having the game of his life. I think he's almost got as much ADR as the next 3 players on his team, so he's really turning it on now. But if you see the buy round come in, these are the ones that matter. Trinity did manage to take the lead for the first time in quite some time. But NCI are going to be looking to change that as much as they can, and these executes have got to be very clean from TCD if they want to convert the round, but it's a pretty quiet round so far. A little bit of utility on the NCI side. They aren't flush with grenades, so they've got to use them as best they can. We do see still a pretty default split. 1 minute 20 on the clock still, so there's plenty of time left in the round, but Trinity are very clearly kind of scoping out the round and scoping out the map to see where everyone is. Not rushing into anything too much when they've got everything they need for the execute. They still do have 2 SMGs that they brought with them from the last round, I believe, so going to be looking to upgrade those. Here we see the execute coming in now. The Molotov is going to go take out MDK, but Beast of Beast finds a kill even through the flashbang. Now, he's got it all to do. Hold on to the bomb site. Can he turn it up? No, he can't. He only finds 2, and the bomb is going to go down, but 3 on 3, and we see NCI start to rotate towards the bomb site now. They've got 2 players, and Markafo finds a key kill onto its beat. Beast is going to swing out now. He finds the first, but does he know Comeback King is there as well? He doesn't, and Comeback King's not going to be able to frag, and these 2 players now are towards A main, so they've got to get out of this corner, but God of Fire chimes in, finds one beast with the other, so that is going to be yet another round going to Trinity, Ferex, and I'm not really sure now if NCI are going to be able to crack this T side. They seem to be scratching their heads a little bit so far.
Yeah, Trinity so far pretty convincing. T side, we've only seen 1 gun round, so can't really judge too much. But what we did see was good enough from the Trinity side, I suppose. A fairly standard A execute, but that's gonna put NCI back onto the eco. Just a few upgraded pistols, a deagle for Cinder, and Mark F on a P250 for Bitter. But he's gonna find the kill through the smoke. I'm not sure if he saw the head of the player there, but a free kill for him essentially onto Mark Gaffo, and that makes this round all the more likely to go over to the Trinity side. But they're still taking things very, very slowly. They're playing smart, and they're gonna catch Bitter pushing through that B area of the map, and Cinder here taking the contact, playing around that fork area. Not gonna be able to find a thing, just a good bit of damage, but eventually goes down to God of Fire, and it's just gonna be a fabulous Sean player, or Comeback King playing on site. Eventually goes down, finding himself 1 kill, so only 1 kill in that round for NCI. Maybe a little bit less than they were hoping for, but nonetheless, around, and now we start to see the AWP come out. Comeback King picking it up for the NCI side, and a second one for Cinder as well, actually. So double AWP setup here on the CT side. It's certainly a very viable strategy on cash. So we'll see where they're going to go with them. Looks like Cinder is going to take his towards middle, holding from Z, and Mark Gaffo up in vents. Comeback King meanwhile playing towards B with it. But there's actually nobody from the Trinity side over towards B really at the moment. Ekip is the nearest player, so seems like they're setting up for some sort of execute similar maybe to what we saw before, but no early frags really. Both teams just opting to play things slowly, let one come to the other, and eventually Trinity are going to have to make a move, and God of Fire gives up his position there, and Emma and the money's not going to quite reach him. Actually, good flash out to find the kill onto Fabulous Sean. A little bit of a drive-by Ferrari peak right there, but there's that first kill for Trinity, so now they can afford to group up and hit a site together and just play the man advantage, I think, and Looks like that's exactly what they're going to do. 4 players here towards B at the moment. It's going to be up to Comeback King. He's going to get caught with his knife out, I think, a nade out, actually. It's me with a headshot. Mark Caffo not wanting to give up his position events just yet. God of Fire coming up behind him. Wasn't expecting him to be there, but Mark Gaffo turns a full 180 degrees and finds the kill anyway. God of Fire being completely caught out. That's a 4-on-3 now, favouring Trinity, and the bomb is down as well. And all 4 players actually trapped on this side at the moment. A little bit of an interesting spread, but NCI, it looks like they're just going to save it. Trinity now haven't even tried to move out of the site yet. They're just holding here. Maybe a little bit of a crazy play trying to catch NCI out when they're clearing all the angles. Now they start to exit the site, and they're going to walk into Cinder's crosshairs. He finds a good kill onto Ekip. Could find a second here. Steven just about dodges the shot, but Beast and East might go down to the bomb here. He should just about survive. No, he goes down, and that's an AWP loss for Trinity. And Bitter finding the late kill onto It's Me as well. So only 1 player from Trinity surviving that round when they had 4 players alive when NCI started made the call to save. So a little bit of a throwaway there, but they have the economy to rebuy, and It's Me gonna pick up the AWP, and we get another gun round out of this, Cardinal.
Yeah, it was interesting that when the roles were reversed, we didn't see any AWPs coming out from either side, but now obviously NCI opted for that double AWP setup, and let's see if they can put it to good use. But Cinder now just with the AWP this round, and it is down to a 3-on-3 very early on. It's going to be a fast round. Beast from the East finds another great kill on to the bomb site. David Deshawn's going to go down, and with that the bomb as well, so it is a 2-on-3, the man advantage over to Trinity. Cinder needs to find a kill before this Molotov goes down, or he's going to have to fall back, and it looks like Trinity have just locked him out of the bomb site. They know where both of these players are coming from, so they've only got a couple of angles to cover. And oh, the great shot from Bitter though. He just walks in and finds that kill, but a lovely flick coming in return from It's Me. Now Cinder, he's gone for the M4, so gonna swing out. He looks like he fancies this one, and he finds the first frag. That could be key. He needs to find It's Me quickly though, and he does. Does he have time for the bomb? Oh, it's gonna be very close. I don't think he has this one. Oh, just about. He manages to get the defuse in as well. That's what we want to see from Cinder. That's the kind of player we know him to be. Manages to drop his AWP mid-round, pick up the M4, and then convert that round for his team. That was a key round for them to win there.
Absolutely, that's the sort of plays we need to be seeing coming out of Cinder. I think if NCI want to win this round, we've spoken about him being very, very quiet thus far, and he really stepped up there. I mean, we saw him jumping through the smoke on CT early in the round, uncharacteristically missed a shot. A little bit of the team damage done there onto Ekip, but yeah, absolutely, that's the sort of plays we need to be seeing coming out from Cinder if NCI want to be trying to win this game, which obviously I would hope they do.
I would hope so too.
But yeah, despite losing that round, Trinity are able to basically fully rebuy. 5 AKs all round. Cinder's still on the AWP, carrying that over. I think might have saved it from the previous round, but
I think so, yeah.
Again, a pretty default spread for the Trinity side, not committing to anything just yet until they try and figure out what NCI are doing with this round.
Very different playstyle from these teams now that they've swapped sides, and we saw when NCI were on the T side, they were opting for some very early peaks out the mid, and Cinder favouring that position most of the time on the T side even. But early on he's going to find himself a kill, and Ekip is going to go down, so we're seeing the reverse of the storyline for now. Cinder manages to come alive, but so does Bitter in the meantime, and he's going to find It's Me now. Man advantage going over to NCI, but Bitter is going to pay for it with his life. We've still got 5 to show on the bomb site though, and Modifier is going to find him, so that is control of the bomb site yet again. And we're in a very similar scenario to last round. Now Cinder and Comeback King alive. They've got this retake situation now. We see Trinity switch it up a bit. They are going to hold checkers mainly for this retake. It's too predictable, but Cinder's going to get caught out as the smoke fades. I think he was hoping to find a frag early on. Comeback King's going to walk through the fire, and God of Fire is going to find him, so very aptly named to find that kill there. But it is going to be 13-9 now, going over to Trinity, and you know, NCI have got to start thinking about they're only 3 rounds away from a loss if they don't start to do something and string a few rounds together, Ferrex.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's something to point out now that I think Ekip has only found 1 kill so far this half. And bearing in mind that we're now 7 rounds into this half, he's only managed to find 1 kill. That could be maybe him starting to slow down a little bit, which is what's allowing NCI back into this game. Maybe. Well, I say that they've only found 1 round so far this half, so the rest of Trinity, while Ekip is falling off, the rest of them are starting to step up, I think, but bit of a force by here for NCI. Mark Gaffel, that's the bomb gonna go down. Beast from the East goes down, and Ekip is not gonna get caught out by Cinder. He's gonna turn around and find a second as well on Mark Gaffel, who was looking for the trade, and It's Me in the meantime finds Comeback King, and that's gonna be the A site open for Trinity, and that's exactly where they're gonna head. It's just Fabulous Sean and Bitter pushing around from B, and P250 is actually gonna win out at long range in the end. Fabulous Sean survives with 1 HP, but that's gotta fire down, and NCI could find a weapon out of this. Not sure where the other player went down, but bomb is going to go down. Ekip only on half HP. Going to step out. Bitter takes off his head and nearly loses his own life in the process, but survives with 7 HP. And I think this round is pretty much over and done with. It's Me getting tagged down to 60 HP. So NCI really putting those pistols to use. Great amount of economic damage done. Trinity are not going to have a lot of money coming into this next round. It'll be enough to get by, but only just. They're gonna find themselves 2 rifles, and considering they only had a few upgraded pistols at the start of that last round, they'll be more than happy to bring those into the next round, especially considering there's only 2 Trinity players surviving. So good work to keep the economy in check in that round. Done by NCI, but 14-9 is the scoreline, so things starting to get very, very, very dire for NCI. Cinder, after that 1 round where he really stepped up, is going a little bit quiet again. He needs to.
Gotta be said, unfortunately.
He needs to keep the form up if NCI want to win this. But Beast and Beast gonna get boosted up here. It's forced off by a good molly there from NCI. Not gonna be able to find any early picks, and they're gonna try the counter boost here. They could catch off a player here. I think it's Beast from the East who's playing just outside boost there. Comeback King finds a little bit of damage onto God of Fire with that grenade, and interesting now, Cinder is up on boost, but he's not going anywhere just yet. He's playing this very, very patiently and comes up at exactly the right time. That's a bomb going to go down, takes the head off Beast from the East, and that's a really good info. And God of Fire has the nade out at the wrong time, doesn't even land towards quad in the end. And so far, NCI doing everything right in this round. Cinder electing to stay up on boost, interestingly enough. They're going to come back up and find It's Me. Really, really smart play there from him. Trinity assumed he'd fallen off, but on their side eventually seems going to take him out. Good headshot there from him. We're down to a 3-on-3 now, but God of Fire is only on 2 HP, and Mark Gaffa was going to find Ekip pushing through the smoke there, and 3 versus 2 now. Mark Gaffa finds the AK. So a fully kitted out NCI now, and this could be their 10th round, and maybe signal the beginning of a comeback, but Fabulous Sean here, I think, has heard some footsteps because all of NCI are rotating over, and Fabulous Sean gonna find the first and the second onto God of Fire as well. Good spray down there from him to close out the round for NCI. We're 14-10 now, so Trinity maybe could see their UL Wolves situation reversed against them, perhaps.
Imagine, oh wow, imagine. Oof, that'd be a very interesting narrative to be able to talk about, but I think this is going to be the most key round for NCI in this whole game. They really, really need to convert this round and get the string going together, because if they do, they are going to force Trinity onto an eco, and then it's all game. Then it's all square. But if Trinity take this, they not only put themselves on match point, but they also put themselves in a very economic position for the upcoming rounds, and that's a very key frag from Comeback King early on. They know he's in. Squeaky door, so God of Fire is going to trade him out, even though he was flashbanged. Great kill to find. But now Cinder, he's on the opposite side of that smoke, and he doesn't know there's 4 NCI players, or 4 Trinity players here even, I should say. This wall of smoke's gone down. All of the NCI players are towards this A-bomb site. Cinder's going to take the round into his own hands, and he whiffs the first bullet. That could be crucial, but he's not going to miss again. Getting shot in the back now, I think, from his teammate, actually. And Beast in the East. He's going to find Mark Gaff for both of these players here towards quad area. And Cinder's going to pop out to the AK, and that could be a great decision overall. He is now in the 1-on-2, and he has to find these kills, and he's got to find them quickly. But Beast from the East is going to have his number, and it is going to be match point now for Trinity Ferex. I'm not sure what NCI can do here.
Yeah, a little bit of a close round there. Cinder had the potential to make another great clutch for his team, but unfortunately looking the wrong way at the wrong time, I think. So 15-10 is the score, and Trinity just one round away from progressing to the semi-finals, and it could be NCI's ticket home, but they're going to give it everything they have. Cinder picking up the auto shotty and a few upgraded pistols for the rest of his team. Mark Affo playing close middle with this deagle. Good choice with the pistol, but it's going to be an A-take. Comeback King gonna find the first kill and the second and the third on Ekip. That's a great play from him. 4-on-2 now, and this round falling apart. God of Fire though has something to say about that. He's going to find the 2 refrags, taking down Comeback King. 3-on-2 now, and bomb should go down on the A side any second. And that was a great play from Comeback King, really giving NCI the best chance they have in this round. And Mark Apple finding one in the meantime onto It's Me, and God of Fire trades him out, but fabulous Sean there to close out the round. And NCI, when it seemed like the game was done and dusted, pull it out of nowhere. Comeback King, that was a huge play there on the A side, finding 3 kills with a 5-7. Really gave his team the best chance they could, and they were more than capable of capitalizing.
That was a great round from NCI, and they really, as we've said before in a couple of other games, they had no business winning that round whatsoever, but Comeback King manages to make it work somehow. And now, as we talked about before, this is a very key round for NCI. I suppose obviously all of these rounds are very key, but if they manage to win this one, they're not going to put Trinity in a great economic position. They are just going to opt for the upgraded pistols, so they've got to be careful not to give away easy frags. But it is going to be 4 now. Cinder's going to make that 3-on-4. So Trinity now have got to be careful. They aren't going to be necessarily looking to convert this round entirely, just to do as much damage as they can, and then hopefully buy up as much as they can in the next round. Fabulous Sean can find 1-2 and make that 3. So it is going to be 15-12, and we are going to see Trinity back on the buy this round. So not going to be able to get everything they need. We see Ekip with just the 1 flashbang. Not an entire array of utility yet. It's me actually opting for the Galil and picking up that flash as well. So this could be another possible round for NCI if they play their cards right, but all these rounds are going to be very important from here on out. They can't make any more mistakes if they want to bring it to overtime.
Yeah, I mean, NCI Trinity, do have that 4-round cushion, so I mean, there's a little bit of throw when I think they were just trying to do some economic damage. Completely shut down by NCI, but yeah, like you said, little to no utility for them in this round. It's going to be hard to take a site without losing a couple of men. They're going to have to try and maximize what little they have if they're going to try and take this round, but something of a default spread again. Steven holding very far back in T-spawn, watching for any B aggression from the NCI side, but he's going to move away. Looks like we're going to see an A play. Ekip with the bomb on his back, just outside A main. Just inside A main, excuse me. Beast from the East up on boost. NCI not peeking anything at the moment. They're just playing very passively, holding the sites. Nobody on mid, 3 players towards B, so they could get caught out here by this 5-man take from Trinity. But they are fully bought, and they do have 4 Molotovs to work with. Holding off this push and the retake as well, and Comeback King gonna step out and find 1, find 2, find 3. Great spray down, and Gaffo and Cinder chiming in as well. A clean round there from NCI. Not a single man going down. That's gonna be great for their economy.
You could not ask for a better timed Molotov into A main. I think they all had to push through that fire, and they had no smoke grenades to get them through it. We talked about at the start of the round, they didn't have all the utility they were hoping for on the Trinity side, and it really showed there. They were lacking in their execute, but it is going to be 15-13 now, and NCI are going to start to feel a little bit confident. They are just on pistols again, so on paper this round should go to NCI, but he's in the East is not going to have anything to say about that. He is going to find 1 kill, but make that 2. He's actually found 2 now, and although Steven was dropped very low, it is a 3-on-3, and Ekip manages to salvage himself an M4 now. That could be vital, but Steven and Ekip are going to go down and make that Beast in the East as well, so It is 15-14, and we are going to see Trinity on the bye. They don't have a fantastic economy, so they are going to be missing a little bit of utility. But otherwise, they are going to be able to buy up everything that they need. NCI, on the other hand, they've got money to spare, so they're going to be feeling confident about this one. Cinder's actually dropped an AWP for someone. He's actually dropped himself his own AK, so he might go back to retrieve that later on. That's going to be interesting. I'm not sure what he's thinking of doing, but
it's a B rush. We're going to see just
B-rush,
Trinity
yeah.
going to try and close it out with a straight up B rush, and it's going to find the entry kill, and Bitter to trade him out onto Ekip, but Steven there, great 2 kills. And that should be the B site now for Trinity, 4 on 2, and Trinity, when they most need it, seem to have come alive now. It's Me is very, very low, but 2 kits for the CTs and a little bit of util for Comeback King to work with, and he's gonna find the first kill. It's Me is very, very low. This nade could be huge. It's Me just about gets away with his life. 4 HP. That molly could take him out of it. 1 HP. Borderline stuff there. Cinder catches him in the back of the head. Just walked out of CT there, I think, or maybe came charging out of heaven. 2 on 2 though. NCI certainly making game with Godfire though. Gonna find Cinder, and I'm not gonna expect Comeback King coming through B main. It's down to a 1-on-1 now, and Comeback King versus Steven, and bomb is very, very low, and I think that's going to be the game, and Comeback King finds a kill but doesn't have the time, and that's going to be 16-14 to Trinity. One of the closest games of the series. Another 16-14 and a great, great final round there. I think really, really nail-biting stuff towards the end, especially with that nade and that molly coming in through vents.
Absolutely devastating there for NCI. They went the whole distance. They did actually manage the retake, but the clock wasn't on their time, sadly, and I think Comeback King might be a little bit unlucky there that his Molotov, the way he threw it, it didn't allow him to get out of the vents as quickly as he would have liked, possibly. But a great game overall. It is going to be 16-14 in the end, going over to Trinity. So that confirms Trinity and the UCD A team are going to advance from their respective groups. And unfortunately, NCI are going to be heading home. This is going to be the end of the tournament for them. But a great game overall. We see at the end, Cinder hitting 27 frags. He really came alive himself, and Fabulous Sean putting on a show. But over on the Trinity side, Ekip, 32 kills, Godfire 23. Very, very dominant game from Ekip and Godfire, respectively. They've played really, really well in this entire series. But it is going to be the victory going over to Trinity.
Yeah, absolutely, and whether or not it was a win they deserved is another matter, but it's a win that they're going to take, absolutely. Like you said, Ekip, 32 frags, monstrous game from him, especially playing on that CT side. He really was keeping them in the game and gave them the 8-7 that allowed them to really come back and win this T side. So very entertaining game, exactly what we had hoped for the final game in this series. So yeah, like you say, UCDA team, UCDB. So sorry, actually, I have it here. Yeah, the UCDA team and Trinity are going to advance from Group A to play in the semi-finals, and the Maynooth A team. So that's Padge's Maynooth boys, and the UCDB team are the ones who are going to advance from the second group. So we will organize the brackets for those semi-finals and let you know as soon as we can. But yeah, absolutely, Cardinal. Very, very entertaining game there. Exactly what we had hoped for in the end.
Yeah, and it's nature of the beast, unfortunately, that it can come down to just 1 or 2 seconds on the clock, the difference between bringing to overtime and actually going home early. So great games all around, and GG's between the players for NCI and for Trinity. It was a great game to cast, and it was probably an even better game to watch from home. So thank you to everyone for tuning in as well. And I also would like to thank our sponsor, Marvin.ie, for sponsoring the tournament, the #1 delivery service for esports professionals, as always. Be sure to check them out. And to you, Ferrex, thank you for joining me on the cast. It was a really, really good game to cast and very exciting. We had a lot of crazy and chaotic rounds, so it's always good to see that some decent Counter-Strike. It was great. So that's going to be all from us for tonight, I believe, folks.
Absolutely, some wonderful plays, like you said, Cardinal. Some great rounds. But yep, Cardinal's absolutely right. That is going to be all from us. So we should see the semi-finals in the next week or two. But do follow us on Twitch and join the community Discord if you like to keep updated on everything that's going on. But for myself And from Cardinal and from everybody here at ICE, that is going to be it for tonight. So thank you for joining us, and we'll see you again in the next week. Take care.
Good night.